Great morning, everyone. Great morning. It's Saturday morning. It is May 30th. May is coming in for a landing. You can see I got my finger up here. I'm going to be talking about this. See this? That's called the horizon. You see that? That's the horizon. What does that have to do with you? Hopefully you put a smile on your face. There's the horizon right there behind me. You see that? So I titled this, what I titled this? Vision, Endorphins, Landscape Artist. What does all that mean? This is going to make absolute sense as we go through this today. But I want you to, here's the thing. First of all, get something. All right. If you clicked on this, I want you to get something, number one. So if you clicked, you're curious, get something right now. Make a commitment. You're going to get something right now. You could grab something that could change your day, your week, your month, your year, perhaps your life. And I believe that the content we're going to put out here is extremely powerful and it's extremely simple. So I'm going to jump in. I'm going to keep this as short as I can, maybe 10 minutes. We'll see how it goes. Endorphins. I want you to get endorphins today. Endorphins, it's your biochemistry. Endorphins naturally stimulate you feeling good. Okay. There's a whole bunch of documentation on biochemistry and when you're in a depressed state, when you're in a great state and all these things. But here's what we do know. You can do things that will naturally stimulate endorphins, which makes you feel good. My hallucination is that that's something that we need to cultivate consciously throughout the day. If we go into the day unconscious, I've done that. We can do that. We just roll into the day, we roll into this day, we roll into the next day. It's like, oh my God, a week. Where'd the week go? I was so busy and I didn't get anything done. But if we consciously connect with the day and we consciously intend to feel better, we will begin to feel better. And the way we can do, one of the ways is to cultivate endorphins. And one of the ways to cultivate endorphins is through vision. When we create visualizations, when we do visualizations, we can naturally stimulate biochemistry. That's how powerful this really is. And most of you know this. Listen, information's everywhere today. So some of you already know this information, but we need to hear it again, because if we're not practicing it, do we really know it? So vision. When we do visualization, we naturally can stimulate endorphins. Endorphins, endorphins make you feel good, make you feel good all over. So what can you do today to stimulate endorphins? Well, vision is one thing you can do. This might be difficult for many of you. It's hard to stop the brain from racing. Maybe that's what we can do right now, is just stop. And just grab a moment, because we can stop. When we stop and we pause, we can interrupt the racing thoughts. We can imagine you're on the wheel, the hamster on the wheel, and when we stop and we pause, literally one breath, and you probably can feel that. Even just as you're watching the video, you can feel that one breath interrupts the wheel. You can get off the wheel. You step off the wheel. When you step off the wheel, you can dial into the moment, and then you can create some visualization. And visualization, I'm not going to go through a visualization process with you right now, but you don't even need to figure this out. If you can pause and you can just, it's a muscle. It's like going to the gym. It's something we can cultivate. And when we cultivate it, we are becoming a conscious force in our lives. We're not waiting for some external force, some external hero, some external gift. We're not going to open up the door and there's a treasure chest from Amazon with all the goodies in there. Although that would be cool though, wouldn't it? But my point is that we become active in our approach. We become active, and then we can cultivate. I got goosebumps. Whew. By the way, goosebumps, I'm doing more research on goosebumps, but apparently goosebumps come from the adrenal glands, which I don't know that I buy that 100%. I think that there's a goosebumps that we get that can come from the adrenal glands, but I think there's endorphins. I don't know, that feel good when you feel the juice, right? You feel that the tingling in your spine. It feels good. I don't know. I kind of believe there's another place for that, but what I've read so far, it's from the adrenal glands. But either way, I like it. Get goosebumps today. If you haven't gotten goosebumps, I just got them, so I'm already ahead, which is great. So maybe you can get goosebumps. But back to visualization, back to the story. So we're talking about visualization, and we're talking about how visualization naturally stimulates endorphins. Endorphins enable you to feel good. So if you're somebody that historically feels bad, because the quality of your life is going to be where you live emotionally. And some of you are addicted to bad emotions. That's a whole nother conversation, where you become addicted to the negative emotions. And I'm not going to go into all that right now, but just know that that's a possibility, that you are addicted to emotions that are negative because they give you something. Because if you think about it, every emotion has a charge in the body, doesn't it? So every emotion has a charge in the body. Some emotions, anger, right? Anger can stimulate a lot of negative biochemistry, but man, it can be intoxicating, just like a drug. So you could see in that example how someone could be addicted to anger. But we can create positive biochemistry, and it's easier than you think, but we must pause first, because in the pause, we create the open space where we can insert something new. If we're consistently in our normal pattern, nothing new can get in. Our filter is blocking everything out. It's turning our lens is turning everything to line up to our beliefs. So, and that's why people live the same day. They live the same thing over and over again. It's only in the pause and the opening and the vulnerability that something new information can get in. And when new information can get in, like it is right now, hopefully, prayerfully, that's where transformation can happen. That's where breakthroughs can happen. See, breakthroughs happen in the cracks of your thinking. It doesn't happen in your current thinking. Breakthroughs happen when new information is able to get through. New information is able to get through beyond the wall. That's why you've heard of subliminal programming, right? You've heard of subliminal programming. They did experiments. People's behavior changed. They didn't know why, because the messages were getting through the filter. But right now, even as you're listening to me, you have a filter. So this information is trickling through your filter, and it's either going to, and in most cases, if it doesn't line up to what you currently believe, it might get thrown out. So the only way to get new information is to open and through vulnerability. So I'm sharing with you some information about vision, to take some time to vision, and to take some time to create. Vision in its purest form is creation. You're flashing images. You're stirring up emotions, which stirs up endorphins. Got goosebumps again. So multiple goosebump day today. And let's talk about, so that's vision. So if you haven't done vision today, take some time, get yourself some visualization ASAP. The majority of people that are alive today will not do visualization. The majority of people on this planet today will not do visualization. And let me rephrase it. The majority of the people today will not do visualization in an intentional, conscious way. That makes better sense. The majority of people alive today will not do visualization in an intentional and conscious way. But now that you've heard this information, you have a choice. You have a choice to forge the future that you want through the power of your mind, your heart, your creation, your creative ability. I say your whole nervous system, really. And let me give you another really powerful metaphor. I opened up with this. See that? That's the horizon right there. See that? Does anybody know Bob Ross? And I'm going to throw the sun right here. I'm going to throw the sun right there. And then I'm going to splash in some different colors up here so we can create some contrast, and then I'll go a little darker as I go up. Again, it just creates more contrast and texture as I create the horizon. And you'll see the horizon start to come in, and it creates the depth of the image. Everybody's into Bob Ross today. It seems like he's like a very popular figure. But what I want to share with you about this, it's a great metaphor here. Hey, Jenna, there's a great metaphor here, and that is that landscape artists, I just learned this, by the way. So landscape artists, when they're taught to paint, are taught to create the horizon first. So if you think of a horizon, it's like off in the distance. It's depth. It's vision. And they're taught to create the horizon first, because if you don't do that and you get caught in the close-up stuff and the details of the close-up stuff, your painting will start to lose perspective, and it'll lose the depth that it needs in order for someone to appreciate it, truly appreciate it, and as art. So what they're taught is to build the horizon first. Create the horizon as you paint, and then fill in the details as you get closer to yourself. So that's a perfect metaphor for our lives. You might be caught up in what's directly in front of you, and you're feeling the overwhelm, or you're overwhelmed because you're thinking about the whole painting, right? You're thinking of, oh my God, I got to do this whole thing. How am I going to do this? But what you want to do is focus on the horizon. Get the horizon done. That's your vision. Where do you want to be? If you try to think of every step in between, you will freak yourself out. I've done it thousands of times, and my brain still wants to go there because I crave certainty. I want to know every single step. I want to know every single solitary bloody step before I get started, is my weekend accent. But what you want to do is you want to focus on the horizon. The horizon's always true, right? And even in, I'm thinking of sailors. They look at the horizon. If they don't have equipment, you're looking at like, and there's guys that'll go sail, and I've heard stories of people, they don't even use technical equipment. They use the sun, they use the horizon, they use the natural elements to guide. I think there was somebody that, I want to say, I could look this up. There was somebody that circumnavigated the globe without any technology. I'll have to look that up, and I'll see if I can share that link for you. So that person needed to be looking out on the horizon. They needed to be looking at direction or instead of like, where's the sail, right? If I get caught up on where's the sail and I'm not looking at where I'm going, where am I going to end up? I might end up in the rocks. I might end up in a storm, So you got to be looking at the indicators of where you're going. That's vision. That's horizon. So that's what this is about. So this is a video today that I think is very valuable for me as I'm delivering it to you, and for you. Create your horizon, create your vision, take time to visualize today. So use time today to visualize. I don't care if it's a minute. I don't care. Block out 2 minutes, just 2 minutes, and just 2 minutes. Well, let's keep it simple. So 2 minutes, you're going to visualize. You're going to do a visualization. And just see what comes up, and whatever comes up, because it's it might be difficult in the beginning. Just allow. Don't go, oh, I stink at it, I'm not going to do it. Just allow whatever comes up. Let that stuff cycle out, and just keep going. Where just keep working on the vision like a painter. Just keep working on that horizon. Just keep painting it. Keep painting it. Right. Every painting is not a masterpiece. Right. How many times do they have to redo the version of it? So today, create some time to visualization. Create some time for visualization. Let your endorphins pop. Go for goosebumps if you can. Go all the way. I got goosebumps 3 times today so far. So I want you to have goosebumps today. Remember the landscape artist who creates the horizon first before they fill in all the details, because it helps them create the contrast and the depth that they need to create a masterpiece. So your life is a masterpiece. Create the visualization, build the horizon, and make it a fantastic day, because the best of your life is included in the rest of your life. Focus on it today and make it awesome. You can do it. All the good is already wired in you. And I'll just leave you with this. I did this on another video. You are a miracle. You are a miracle. You are a miracle. If the airwaves in your lungs were stretched out, all the airwaves in your lungs were stretched out, it could stretch out up to 1,500 miles. You're already a masterpiece. You're already a miracle. You just have to access it. And you got to get yourself out of the way. You've been in your way too long. It's time to break through, and it's time to break free. And it's yours for the taking. Do it now. Have a fantastic day, everyone. Love you. God bless you. I'll see you soon.